Alex, listen to me. Are you okay?
Okay, you're switching off now. I can see you switching off, right? You've got this. Once you get back out there, do your jabs, do your boxing.
Do your business.
Focus. You're better than this. I've seen so much more from you. You've worked so hard. Get back out there, focus, and you will be on top. Boxer. If you box, you will
Box.
Okay, now you're switching off, alright? I can see you're switching off. Focus, center, get back up.
Let's go.
Recenter. That was a bad round.
Let's go. One, two, three, four, five, six, seven, eight. Are you all right?
Okay, you're switching off now. I can see you.
One, two, three, four, five, six, seven,
Look at this venue. What a remarkable scene for hopefully what will be a remarkable fight. We are live at Valcour Bay. Alongside me, English fighting legend Johnny Nelson. And here he is in the flesh, Terrence Bud Crawford, one of the pound-for-pound best in the world, fighting out King Rock. This bout is usually you don't need a weapon. So here we go. Should be a good one. Good counter punch. Oh, that punch. Which one of these athletes is going to be the first to get rocked? Well, I hope you brought your sunscreen. You're going to need it as we have our main event underneath the bright sunny sky.
This is something you can never ever get used to. How many gyms are built outside? How many times do we train, spar, and everything outside? Now you're having a fight outside. This is where fighters may gas themselves out. This is where the environment may make so much of a difference. You may not realize it. We've got to realize you're alone.
Nice counter. To be opponent's flashing lights for the flash here. He's got to get out of trouble. A much better game plan here.
It's been a tough round so far. It's been a tough round. What will you do? What the time when they go back to the corner? How are they going to get through this?
Block the uppercut. When are we going to see a jab from these two? These two fighters are made for one another. Nice counter shot. Let's talk about Crawford in that last round. Well, he is glad to have heard that bell.
Every second, every minute of this.
On to the second round. Safe to say that last round was a nightmare. Let's see if we can turn it around here.
They've had 1 minute to recover. Now they've got to bluff it. They've got to bluff it. They've got to come out now and style it out. Get on the back foot, jab, rest on the jab. Be smart and pop until your legs come back. Then, put the pressure on.
This counter-puncher is going to wait for you to move first, and then will strike like a snake. Keep an eye on this guy.
Reaction is second to none. It's the blink of an eye, and they're waiting for any little twitch you do. So you've got to fight a counter-puncher smart.
No rest for the weary. Can't score with that jab. Very competitive round here so far.
Skill for skill, tap for tap, just like a match made in heaven.
Perfect counter lands. When you're fighting a counter-puncher, you want to bait them in to throw first. Make them think you're going to throw a punch so that they exchange.
They have got great ring IQ. Counter-punches are the best.
Has to be careful for that receipt. It's always coming. That's another scoring shot. Very close round with 10 seconds to go. Let's talk about Crawford in that last round. Well, there was no doubt about who won that round. Here we go in round 3. Who's going to land the first big shot? This fight has been very one-sided. What are we going to have in this round?
Todd, my motto is, if it's not broken, why change it? An excellent last round, everything works. Wait for the reaction. Until then, keep doing what you've just been doing because you've won that hands down.
Nice counter punch right up the middle. So much for boxing. This is a fight. Swing and a miss with that hook. He threw a punch and just got countered. Good defense blocking that right uppercut. Good fight so far. Both of these fighters have had their moments.
Perfectly matched. Skill for skill, tap for tap. Now this fight will say, you know what, I'm just that notch above you, and so I've got to respect both of them more than happy.
They exchange punches. Is he going to punch himself out though? Looking to land the hook. How about that time counter shot? That counter punch caught him clean. A very competitive round with 10 seconds left. Let's talk about Crawford in that last round. After what we saw in that last round, it's pretty obvious who has the advantage here.
Somebody don't get complacent. You think it's...
Here we go in round 4. Who's going to land the first big shot? They've got all the momentum on their side after that last round. Let's see what they do here.
Todd, my motto is, if it's not broken, why change it? An excellent last round, everything works. Wait for the reaction. Until then, keep doing what you've just been doing because you've won that hands down.
We both know who the bigger power puncher is. There's a significant power difference. How would you handle that?
You've got to be courageous when you get in there with someone that's bigger, stronger, and faster. You've just got to use brain there.
Deciding to let it all hang out here in this round. And he wasn't ready for that counter punch. I don't want to punch out to it. Thought there might be more action here. Punch, counter punch. And he scores with a counter. Every time they throw a shot, they get countered. Nice counter shot. The stamina is off the charts. And now the Flash is seeing flashes after that shot. You know the scorecards are going to be all over the place in this one. We about to see Ryan Garcia go to the canvas. Let's talk about Crawford in that last round. The game plan does not... Time for the 5th round. So not the best round, but let's see if they can turn it around here.
This is one of those situations. You've just been hurt. You've got to get out there again. Be smart. Be sharp. Don't be a fool. Don't get suckered in. Make him fight. Don't fight. Hold him. Tie him up just until your head clears again and your legs come back again. Because if you don't, he's going to cut you off.
That counter shot lands. You hear that old phrase, second win. You've got to find it somehow.
Midway through the fight, if you are tired, this can be the loneliest place in the world. If you cheated, now we're going to find out.
action. Blew up the replay machine. I have got to see that again.
I've got to see that again.
Right there. Right now, the Flash is seeing flashes after that shot. Big shot, and down goes Garcia. Let's see that again.
Shot from the gods, they say. A shot from the gods.
They got knocked down, but didn't stay down. Once again, showing you how much grit and courage this fighter has.
Well, now it's about getting back to the corner, freshen up, get new instructions.
It looks like he's going to survive the round here, but just barely. Let's talk about Garcia in that last round.
They believe that.
Let's start the sixth. And there's the bell to start the round. Those counter punches have to hurt. They need to be careful they don't punch themselves out here. Did you see that? Oh, and it's flashing lights for the Flash here. He's got to get out of trouble. How did they survive that?
What recovery skills they are. What a shot it was. Completely gone. I thought there's no way to finish this round. But look at that. Look at the movement. Look at the speed. Back on it. Like it never happened.
Catch and shoot. I think that will look even more dramatic in slow motion.
Even I've got to see that again. Where did that come from?
On their feet, but is this the beginning of the end?
Oh, he's up. I'll be surprised if he makes it back to the corner. And if he does, will he get back up on the stool again? That was a shot.
Not the best of rounds with 10 seconds to go. Let's talk about Garcia in that last round. They say no one knows a fighter better than their trainer, and this trainer is certainly. Here we go, it's round 7. You've got to be feeling confident now after what happened last round.
2 knockdowns in that last round. There'll be sheer panic in that corner. What do? Do they throw the towel in? Do they let him come back out again? Because they know their fighter is like a lamb to the slaughter.
Beautiful counter punch. This fighter's sort of the death by 1,000 paper cuts approach. He'll hit you 1,000 times before you can land one.
I've never seen a fighter so fast in my life. How do you deal with this? You've got to hope they run out of steam.
Starting to take some deep breaths now, but still fighting hard. halfway through the round, and there's not a lot separating these two.
They're so close, so close. How can you separate them? It's going to be a hard night tonight for the judges.
Well done with that counter shot. Just when you think they're going to have a lull in the action, we get it heated back up. Good counter punching. We about to see Ryan Garcia go to the canvas. I thought that was the end, but here we go again. Back into the fire.
Now you've got to wake up. You've got to get on the back foot, clear the head a little bit, then jump back into it again.
Despite what the judges' scorecards read, there are no losers in this one. Let's talk about Crawford in that last round. We'll see how much endurance these two fighters have.
There's a lot on the line here.
There's the bell for round 8. Fatigue is setting in. Let's see how they handle it here in this round.
Exerted a lot of energy in the fight so far. Now they're shattered. This is what you call championship rounds. If you have done the work, slept right, ate right, slept right, I'm expecting you to get through this. If not, if you've cheated, the ring can be the loneliest place in the world.
An amazing knockout finish here. That was something special. You could see it in their eyes. They saw that punch coming, and there was nothing they could do.
I've got to see that again.
Not many people would have predicted it, but we got a knockout victory.
A knockout victory? That's not a knockout victory. That is somebody saying, I'm here, I've arrived. Try that again, it will happen all over again.
Hello?
It is nighttime, and we are live outside at the Empire Fight Camp. My name is Todd Grisham. Alongside me is Johnny Nelson.
You tried to give me the slip, didn't you, my friend? There was no way I was going to...
It's Roy. Here comes this bout. Lots of hype as they will fight into the night. We're outdoors for this big main event. And we're underway in round one. Just when you think they're going to have a lull in the action, we get it heated back up. Every time they drop their guard, they get caught. And so far, the offense has been better than the defense. These two fighters are made for one another. Nice counter shot. Perfect counter lands. Calzaghe and Jones met for the light heavyweight title back in New York City in November of 2008. Calzaghe won on that occasion. Who's going to take the rematch here?
You forgot how slick, how smooth, how sharp, how crafty Jones Jr. was. Then, Calzaghe came back. The pace, the power, the southpaw style was enough, and the youth got him the win. Now these guys are gonna do it all over again. Time was rolled on, but both fighters have got a little slower. Both fighters have got a little long in the tooth. Both fighters know what they've got to do. And both fighters know they respect the danger each man brings.
Tough to be a judge in this fight as both fighters have had their big moments.
Skill for skill, tap for tap, just like a match made in heaven.
That one lands. Now let your hands go a little bit. It's okay to be aggressive now. We've been fighting all day long, and we've reached our main event, and they'll do it underneath the moonlight, ladies and gentlemen. We're outdoors for this highly anticipated main event.
These fights are about to block themselves off and say, right, that's it, keep out of it. Now it's fight time, the whole day. Everybody's been waiting for these two. This is it. This is it.
Which fighter will say no mas? One punch could change the entire complexion of this fight. You know the scorecards are going to be all over the place in this one. Talk about Roy Jones in that last round. Well, we're entering desperation mode here. Gonna need a knockout.
Needs a knockout without a doubt. Needs to go out there and think, right, you know what, next round.
That's it.
And there's the bell for round two. So not the best round, but let's see if they can turn it around here.
This is one of those situations. You've just been hurt. You've got to get out there again. Be smart. Be sharp. Don't be a fool. Don't get suckered in. Make him fight your fight. Hold him. Tie him up just until your head clears again and your legs come back again. Because if you don't, he's going to pop you off.
Has to be careful for that receipt. It's always coming. He scores with the counter. What a punch. Sometimes when you're fighting a counter fighter, the rounds can get a little boring. You get trigger shy because you know if you throw a punch, one is coming right back at you.
You're fighting a counter puncher, you've got a double shot. Make them react from that, then react then. I know it's hard to think that way, but counter punchers, they're watching your every move, that every twitch.
Beautiful counter punch. There's a counter shot. counter punch. Swing and a miss with the jab. They blocked the left there. He threw a punch and just got countered. He throws a punch, a receipt is coming right back. Misses with the straight left. This fighter has been described as a swarmer, that fighter who attempts to overwhelm their opponent by applying constant pressure.
Oh man, you got swarm in your face. You got to try and push them off, make them go into the rope. You got to sometimes fight fire with fire. Hit them low on the blind side of the referee. Get him angry.
Blocks the straight left. Every time they throw a shot, they get countered. How about that technique on that headshot? Let's see it again and appreciate it more.
A shot from the gods took him out. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Game will continue.
Let's talk about Roy Jones and
Switched up.
here we go in round 3. Who's going to land the first big shot? Let's see if they can shake off the cobwebs after a disastrous last round.
2 knockdowns in that last round. There'll be sheer panic in that corner. What do? Do they throw the towel in? Do they let him come back out again? Because they know their fighter. It's like a lamb to the slaughter.
These punches coming from every angle. And he wasn't ready for that counter punch. Is he going to punch himself out, though? So much firepower here. Can't score with that jab. Counter punch right up the middle. Energy and endurance are not an issue for this fighter who continues to be aggressive as the rounds wear on.
How do you deal with an aggressive fighter? What you do is you fight fire with fire. You either give it them back because that's where they're comfortable, or you play calm, play cool.
His stamina is off the charts. Just gets out of the way of that right uppercut. What do you think of what we've seen so far from these two boxers, Johnny?
That power might be the do or die. That power might be the equalizer.
Well done with that counter shot. Someone's will cave, but which fighter will it be? That counter shot lands. That counter punch caught him clean. Good punch. Beautiful counter shot. Nice counter shot. This round's still up for grabs with just 10 seconds to go. Talk about Roy Jones in that last round. He is down big time on the scores.
The bell, sometimes it can be the sweetest sound.
You let him back into the fight. You're much better than this guy.
Here we go in round 4. Who's going to land the first big shot? So the fight will continue. How do they turn things around?
They've had 1 minute to recover. Now they've got to bluff it. They've got to bluff it. They're going to come out now and style it out. Get on the back foot, jab, rest on the jab. Be smart and pop until your legs come back. Then put the pressure on.
Stamina is so important for these two fighters because it allows them to use their skills throughout the match. It can all come down to who's in better shape.
Now this is about desire. This is about character. This is about want.
Well, they're going deep into the gas tank on this round. Not a lot of punch output. Thought there might be more action here. Those counter punches have to hurt. Johnny, as you know, there's a fine line between being aggressive and being too aggressive. Catch and shoot. Punch, counter punch. You'd like to see more jabs. They exchange punches. Nice counter. He's putting the pedal to the metal, but has to be careful that he doesn't run out of gas. When are we going to see a jab from these two? The counter punching. How about that time counter shot? In the early rounds of a fight, you'll see two boxers feel each other out, test each other's power, and I think this boxer has decided I can walk through anything that lands.
Because you've got a good chin doesn't mean you've got leather skin. It means you can still get caught. So you've got to go for those point areas, all the eyebrow, the cheekbone. You've just got to try and cut them, skin them, go for speed.
Starting to take some deep breaths now, but still fighting hard. Very close round with 10 seconds to go. Talk about Calzaghe in that last round. You've heard the old phrase, this might come down to who wants it more, but it might come down.
Your mind back. Your focus back.
On to the fifth we go. Fatigue is setting in. Let's see how they handle it here in this round.
An amazing pace and tempo set in the last round. Can you keep this up? Me personally, I don't think that's possible. And if they can, their training, their condition would have been ridiculous. Like they're in the army. But these guys, if they can keep up this pace, we are in for a great night.
Swinging at us with the hook. Has to be careful for that receipt. It's always coming. Swinging big and missing big with that hook. They call it the chin. How strong is your chin? Do you have a glass chin? These are things that can affect the fight.
Todd, you know what? Sometimes when I've done in the ring with fights like that, and you punch them, you just want to run. You want that spaceship to come and lift you out there because you think, what the hell am I going to do now?
Perfect counter shot. Both men step back for just a moment. Not a lot of defense here at all. This fighter's sort of the death by 1,000 paper cuts approach. He'll hit you 1,000 times before you can land one.
Having so much speed, what happens to your opponent is you get cut to ribbons, and that's where the referee has to jump in and stop the fight. And you know this is going to happen, so you rush your work. You think, I've got to get him inside close round.
Nice counter punch. Nice stop, but that won't score. Misses right uppercut. They need to be careful they don't punch themselves out here. And this is a you hit me hard, I'll hit you hard type of fight. Not a lot of punch output. Thought there might be more action here. A very competitive round with 10 seconds left. Talk about Calzaghe in that last round. Now you start wondering how much work these two fighters did in the gym.
This is when you talk about championship.
Here's the bell to start round 6. How much do they have left in the tank after that last round?
Exerted a lot of energy in the fight so far. Now they're shattered. This is what you call championship rounds. If you have done the work, slept right, ate right, prepped right, I'm expecting you to get through this. If not, if you cheated, the ring can be the loneliest place in the world.
Power is obviously the great equalizer in boxing, but when you know your opponent is relying on that so heavily, how do you deal with it?
I've seen certain fighters that can depend on just their power alone. Forget tactics. They know the second they touch you, it's done. That's where the confidence comes from.
Lucky to have avoided that uppercut. Every time he throws a punch, a receipt is coming right back. That counter shot lands. Every time he throws a punch, a receipt is coming right back. There's a scoring blow. Nice counter shot. What heart, what desire, but at what cost? The old adage is no matter how much speed you've got, timing beats speed.
When you have a fight that's got that great footwork and that great hand speed, it's so hard. It's an uphill battle.
Every time they throw a shot, they get counters. And he wasn't ready for that counter punch. He misses with that straight left. They exchanged punches. Has to be careful for that receipt. It's always coming. There's that counter shot. Not a lot of punch output. Thought there would be some more action here. Joe Calzaghe is on the canvas. Thank goodness we've got instant replay. We get to see it again.
I need to see that again.
Final 10 seconds here, and the corner is going to have their work cut out for them. Talk about Calzaghe in that last round. So it's plan B time after being knocked down in that round.
To make or break a fighter.
Come on, you've let him back into the fight.
Here comes round 7. They really got banged up last round. What can they do here to change the momentum?
What a knockdown. 1 minute, you need 1 hour to get over a shot like that. Now it's down to conditioning. Now it's down to mental strength, and preparation is how you're going to deal with this.
Every time they throw a shot, they get countered. Beautiful counter punch. Every time they drop their guard, they get caught. Deciding to let it all hang out here in this round. And he scores with the counter. Roy Jones Jr. in trouble. A big headshot and he goes down. We have got to see that again in slow.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and continue.
Well, they're back up, Johnny, but now what do they do to get back into this fight?
The corner need to think nice and sharp. They know their fight. They know what their fight is capable of doing and what their fight can and cannot take. This is going to be a tough decision to make.
They exchange punches. Beautiful counter shot. He's got the advantage halfway through the round.
The corners must be so happy. Down to a T, play the plan out to a T. If they can pick up momentum and do this over and over again, they've got it.
Well, just a couple rounds left, Johnny. What's your assessment so far?
I've never seen a fighter so fast in my life. How do you deal with this? You've got to hope they run out of steam.
And in this replay, you can see it. That body punch folded him like a lawn chair.
Where did...
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. You're out.
So it's onward and upward after a knockout win here.
Oh, what a shot! What a shot! You see shots like that in the gym. At least for once, this is on TV.
This rivalry has been brewing for a long time, and it spills over tonight at the CompuBox Academy. I'm Todd Grisham. Alongside me is Johnny Nelson.
Hi, Todd. Nice to be here with you.
It's time for our tale of the tape. Here he comes, Deontay Wilder, 6'7" tall, with that massive 83-inch reach. And facing him here is Deontay Wilder. He is the Bronze Bomber, one of the hardest punchers in heavyweight history. His knockout percentage is off the chart. Alexander Usyk, the former undisputed cruiserweight champion and heavyweight champion.
This bout is scheduled for 8 rounds of boxing. In the red corner, an Olympic bronze medalist from Tuscaloosa, Alabama, a hard-hitting, sensational knockout artist, and a WBC heavyweight champion of the world.
All the talking has been done. It's time to start doing the walking.
You know, look at the stars, ex-fighters, ex-champions ringside. That's what these fights do. That's what these venues do.
What a... These athletes have been waiting a long time to square off. Here we go. Good punch. And he scores with the counter. Perfect counter shot. And he wasn't ready for that counter punch. When someone punches that hard, you don't want to trade shots. Has to be careful for that receipt. It's always coming. That counter punch caught him clean. Big shots from both of these fighters. Got to be careful, though. Good counter punch. Perfect counter lands. A lot of trash talk between these two fighters. Hold that thought! Usyk! No, we don't see a knockdown.
And thanks defense. Defense is everything because they got shot once. They know they can get caught again. So for now, just defense. Work on defense. Blocking and stopping and shooting.
A little bit back and forth between these two fighters.
Skill for skill. Tap for tap. Just like a match made in heaven.
Someone tell these two to hold it right there. Deontay Wilder rocks right now. He's in some serious trouble. That was the moment.
Green Days now needs to steady the pace. Get the pace back to normal.
Jab misses. Every time he throws a punch, a receipt is coming right back. They're both going for the KO. It's so obvious. The winner of this surely will get a world title shot. You know the scorecards are going to be all over the place in this one. Let's talk about Wilder in that last round. What would you tell this guy if he's got to do something different?
You know, if being in the fight side out, when you're thinking, come on, Baron, ring away, you walk back to the corner like you've just seen the sun.
Well, we've just taken a big breath, and here we go again. Coming off a very tough round. Let's see what they do here.
This is one of those situations you've just been hurt, you've got to get out there again. Be smart, be sharp, don't be a fool, don't get sucked in. Make him fight.
And down goes Alexander Usyk. I want to see that again, but from a different angle.
That's like how right there.
So this was an unexpected turn of events. What happens next?
What resilience to be down and to be back up again, to get yourself back into the fight again, to show your fitness and determination. Maximum respect.
You can't make a mistake at the heavyweight level and not expect to be punished for it. Keep an eye on this slugger. As you know, he's willing to take 3 to give 1. That's his game plan, and it's worked out pretty well for him so far.
And when it's not just a win for some fights, they need to feel the blood, the crunch. They need to get that win.
He threw a punch and just got countered. Beautiful counter punch. Not a lot of punch output. Thought there might be more action here. Need to pick things up here in the second half of the round.
There's a lot of work to do, and you know what? It's hard to pull back. Don't get into the habit of losing. Don't get into the habit of being second place. You've got to change the habit. You've got to change something, because otherwise, why should it change?
And Deontay Wilder. And as we see it again, there's no way to get up when you get clipped with a shot like that.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Richardson, are you okay?
At some point, the corner may have to intervene here because this fighter won't stay down.
Some fighters, when this happens, this can be heartbreaking. Some fighters, it makes them angry. They want to get back into the mix again. I want to know, what sort of character are we looking at here?
There's a counter shot. They both want the knockout. metal, but has to be careful that he doesn't run out of gas. Every time they drop their guard, they get caught. One round, two knockdowns, each by a different fighter.
And they were heavy knockdowns too.
Let's reset. Forget about that round. It was a bad round, but we
Great work. I love that jab slip.
right. Let's get out there. Get your boxing back together.
Shots, keep smart. Good man. Just say it again.
Hand on your jab and breathe when you're stepping around.
On to the third. Both fighters knocked down in the last round. What do we have in store for us in this one?
One fighter got knocked down earlier, got back up again to knock him down. How are they going to walk back out of this into the next round?
That counter shot lands. They exchange punches. That left hook missed. Not a lot of punch output. Thought there would be some more action here. Nice counter shot. His stamina is off the charts. Well done with that counter shot. Nice counter. Swing and a miss with that jab. The unified heavyweight champion is down! It looked great live. How will it look again on slow motion replay?
I've got to see that again.
Can't believe they managed to beat the count, but that could be the last hurrah.
Well, now it's about getting back to the corner, freshen up, get new instructions given to you, and they've got to G you up, they've got to tell you what you're doing wrong and what you're doing right.
They're going to pick things up halfway through the round here.
It's that forever hope. Remember the fight at Evander Holyfield? He could be behind on points until the last 10 seconds, but he's fighting like he's going to pull it back. That's the kind of hope we need to see.
Swinging a miss with that hook. Nice counter shot. Got him there. And you can see here his face basically melts into his glove, and down he goes.
Are you okay?
You heard that right, ladies and gentlemen. A knockout victory and one of the biggest surprises of the year.
Knockout victory. That is Todd. Did you see the shot? That's not a knockout. That's an assassination. What a shot.
The crowd has been waiting for this one for a very long time. Welcome to the CompuBox Academy. I'm Todd Brisha. Alongside me, Johnny Nelson.
It's going to be...
The bronze, Alexander Usyk, the former undisputed cruiserweight champion and heavyweight champion of the world, fighting out of Ukraine.
You can hardly hear your...
And this one has all of those big fight feels you want from a prize fight. Here we go.
You can hear everything. Can you imagine being a fighter walking into this? We're going to see that any minute now.
Thousands of fans here in attendance tonight, but when the bell rings, there will only be two that we're talking about. Here we go, round one. Who's going to land the first big shot? Nice counter shot. Keeping those gloves up, the guard high, paying dividends as it seems that moment of trouble has passed.
Got caught sleeping on the job. What do? You step back, steady yourself, recompose yourself, then boom, back into it. But do not make those mistakes. This is the wrong place to fall asleep.
You'd like to see more jabs. And that body shot folded him like an old t-shirt.
That's lights out right there.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. You still want to...
Can't believe they managed to beat the count, but that could be the last hurrah.
Oh, he can smell blood. Look at that. He's put in round ones. He knows what shot works and where to land it. Maybe try and do it again. He's just not got to get trigger happy.
Every time they drop their guard, they get caught. Looks like he's leading halfway through this round.
Perfect game plan. The thing is, can anybody figure out what to do to change this? It's a perfect stuff.
This fighter expending a lot of energy in this round.
And this is
of the you hit me hard, I'll hit you hard type of fight. Nice counter. And the big cat goes down. Imagine seeing this punch coming and not being able to do anything about it.
Even I've got to see that again. One, two, three, 4, 5, 6. Give me your ball.
The referee says they can continue, but how much more do they have left?
But now it's about getting back to the corner, freshen up, get new instructions given to you, and they've got to G you up, they've got to tell you what you're doing wrong and what you're doing right.
That counter shot lands. 10 seconds to go, and what domination we've seen in this round. Wilder in that last round. Well, he's got bandy legs walking back to the corner, but he's still in it.
They believe their fighter.
Just be smart.
On to the second round. Is this the beginning of the end after 2 knockdowns last round?
I have no idea what they have left. How do you come back from something like that? Not out twice? Where's your head at? Where's your energy levels at? It tells you you've got nothing left.
Those counter punches have to hurt. You can't make a mistake at the heavyweight level and not expect to be punished for it. Has to be careful for that receipt. It's always coming. And so far, the offense has been better than the defense. Counter punching. Throws the jab but does not score. Beautiful counter shot. Not a lot of punch output. Thought there would be some more action here. He missed with the jab. Halfway through the round, and it's pretty much even Steven.
Perfectly matched. Skill for skill. Tap for tap. Now this fight will say, you know what, that's not your above you, and so I've got to respect both of them more than happy.
Nice counter shot. Punch caught him clean. This fight has a real good flow to it. One punch could change the entire complexion of this fight. A perfect counter shot. Every time they throw a shot, they get countered. They exchange punches. You can tell he's stronger, but he's not faster. Just missed with that hook. He threw a punch and just got countered. You know the scorecards are going to be all over the place in this one. About Wilder in that last round. Well, this is the time that the trainer needs to come in and say something special. On to the third. Coming off a very tough round. Let's see what they do here.
That was a tough last round. Now you've got to make sure he doesn't put it on him. That's what he's going to try and do. So tie him up, hold him, lean on him. Don't get drawn into a fight. Not yet. Not until your senses have come back.
A perfect counter lands. Johnny. Deontay Wilder rocks right now. He's in some serious trouble. I thought we were going to see the finish there.
It's been a tough round so far. It's been a tough round. What do they do? What do they tell him when he goes back to the corner? How are they going to get through this?
His stamina is off the charts. Has to be careful for that receipt. It's always coming. Missing with that right hook. And he scores with the counter. What heart, what desire, but at what cost? Tough to be a judge in this fight as both fighters have had their big moments.
Skill for skill, tap for tap. Just like a match made in heaven.
Nice counter punch right up the middle. Generally speaking, you don't watch heavyweights to see a boxing match. You want to see a fist fight.
I've never seen a fighter so fast in my life. How do you deal with this? You gotta hope they run out of steam.
Good punch. Well, they're going deep into the gas tank on this round. Holding nothing back here in the round. And he just missed with that left jab. Well done with that counter shot. Deontay Wilder just got clipped. No surprises, we get a unanimous decision there.
What a whitewash. You know, that's skills, that's class, that's levels. One is up there, one is down there, but you know what? The loser is going to have to learn a big hard lesson. I totally agree.
Y'all put them hands on that nigga. Y'all should have seen that shit, boy. That nigga over there running for dear life. Record it. Look. What's it on? What's it on? Okay.